Okay, so it's the next day. They got to get these snow peas in the ground. It's the next day. That's what these are for, if you haven't figured it out. I'm going to pot the snow peas along the bottom here and let them trellis up here. But battery's charged, or topped off. It was pretty charged. I'm going to throw these carburetors on here and see if I can get this old girl to run. And then she's going to have a date with a Sawzall. Oh, just look at it. Just look at it. Ready? Ooh, those were so stuck in there. Look at that. Nice and easy. Diaphragm works well. It's always good when your diaphragms work well. Look at that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And money? Oh yeah. That's awesome. Snaps back on its own. But enough of this. Let's see if this thing's gonna run. Oh yeah, see if it runs. Doesn't sound good. What am I doing wrong here? Choke. Hell yeah. 14.8 volts right there on that little bit of throttle. Charging system works. There was no rust in the tank, which is kind of nice. A little bit of dust, just sediment, I guess, from the dried gas. So I blew it out with some air. Both petcocks are flowing fuel nicely. I suspect the backfires I was getting earlier was because I got ahead of myself and didn't tighten down the carb boot on the rear cylinder carburetor. Sometimes I get ahead of myself, I get excited, but I realized that clamp was loose. So now that we have a consistent fuel supply to those carbs, let's push the button and see what happens. Look at that. tack doesn't work. No smoke though. You can see the tailpipe, can't you? A clean little runner. What the hell? Come on. Who did? Put the car boots back on so it has the proper airflow. I'm going to double check the air filter and then I'm going to do the fine tuning on those carbs. Be right back. Air cleaner. The air cleaner is very clean and it's got good oil on it. Watch. See if you can see this. Anyway, sticky. It's good and sticky. You know, here's what's cool. I've never worked on these 750s before, but this may change the design. It is a shaft drive. I think I mentioned that earlier, which should make it interesting. That may make it safer than a chain, I think. I don't know. But here's what's interesting. The air intake, these intake boots off the carburetor go through the frame rails, this side and this side of the frame rail, and the air cleaner butts up against this hole in the frame. And look how remarkably clean this frame is. I mean, no rust. It's phenomenal. Anyhow, so the vacuum lines are here. The two vacuum lines that run these pods, the pods on top, they go through the frame as well as the cold air intake. Let me get my hand out of there so light balances. Light balancing? There it goes. So this may make it interesting as to how this whole thing's going to go together, but I like that. I like a dynamic design. I don't know. Let's see. So let me put the air cleaner back on now that I know that it's clean, and let's hear it, how it runs and how it sounds with the carburetors all hooked up the way they're supposed to be. Okay, so let's hear how she runs. Boots. That's the battery out of that Ninja. It still holds a charge. I have the battery that came with this bike on a charger. It's actually taking voltage. So we'll see. That'll be a score if that one works. Boot. Intake's back on. Here's your cold air intake right here and under the seat. So let's hook up the keys. Bike supposedly has 18,000 miles on it. I don't know, the inside of the intake was really clean. That's how we hot wire it. That's how we do it. I can't believe how there's not a puff of smoke out of this thing. You tell it's been sitting a while. It's got crusty rust coming out of the exhaust. But the pressure out of the exhaust feels the same. So it's not like a muffler is clogged. I think I'm going to change the oil. Now that I got it running and I know it's worthwhile, I'm going to change the oil. Choke's off. Horn works. All the electrical works. Absolutely amazing to me. High beam, low beam. Awesome. Actually, I should probably see if it goes into gear. Might be a good start. Be right back.